One of the questions I get the most is, hey Nikhil, how do I develop my own dance style? Stay tuned, this is exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video, alright? So I'm sure we can all agree that as a dancer, it's extremely important to develop your own dance style, because this is the only way you will be able to stand out from the crowd, right? So if you are a hip hop dancer, you need to be able to kind of develop your own style, so that whenever you're dancing, even if I put your shadow, people will still be able to recognize you, because you took the time to develop your own dance style and you have your own identity. That's extremely important. But the question is, how do you develop this? So the first step to develop your own dance style is to define your identity. In other words, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? So the question now is, how do you define your identity? Because yes, it is important to define your identity, but how can you define your identity? There are three questions that you can ask yourself. And if you take the time to answer this question properly, then you will be able to, to have a better idea of, what type of dancer are you, and be able as well to define your identity, and in order to develop your own dance style. I'm sure there might be, more than three questions you could possibly ask yourself, but these are the three questions that help me get more clarity about, my identity as a dancer. So what are those questions? So the first question to ask yourself is, what are the feedback that I usually get from people? So you want to find a feedback that people usually tell you again and again and again and again, a positive one, a compliment, right? So what are the compliments that people usually tell you again and again and again? Because if most people are telling you the exact same feedback, chances are without knowing it, they're actually giving you your strength. They're actually sharing with you something that you already have naturally. And if it's something that you already have naturally, chances are this is part of your identity as a dancer. And I remember when I started, I realized that, okay, I didn't have any kind of signature move when I'm freestyling, or any power move when I'm freestyling, but it was all about feeling for me. I just, even the way I used to train is, and even nowadays I still do it again. I still do it, even though I use different technique when I train, but I still do this as well, is just put the music and freestyle. My style is very, it's not calculated, right? I really don't know what I'm going to do next. I just put the music and trust my instinct and let my body go. So the more people were telling me, even though you don't, even though Nikhil, you don't have like big signature move or big power move, but your feeling inspired me. And I started to get this feedback more and more. And I was like, okay, I think I understand. I've been doing this naturally. I've never tried to work on combos and different power move, but I was just trying to dance naturally, just put the music and freestyle. So therefore I started to understand, okay, this is my identity. I'm the feeling guy. I'm just, the feeling guy. Just, put the music and do my thing and, try to connect with the music as much as possible and be present. Because my entire goal when I dance is I want to be as present as possible so that I can attract you in my game. That's my entire goal when I'm on stage. The moment I can do that, I'm happy. The moment I can take control over my performance from the beginning to the end and remain present, for the entire performance, I know that I will be able to attract people in my game, and they're gonna be like, okay, oh wow, I like what this guy is doing. You know, his dance is quite his dance is quite interesting. You know, it's quite intriguing, even though he's not doing like crazy move, you know, backflip and stuff like that. But there's something interesting about this guy. This is what I want. So that's the very first thing, guys. Ask yourself this question: what kind of compliment I keep getting again and again and again? The second question to ask yourself is, what do you want to be remembered for? Once you know what is your voice, and once you know what you want to express out there as a dancer, then you will gain much more time, and you will, most importantly, not wasting time trying to find who you are, what you want to do and stuff like that. You see what I mean? Very important, very, very, very important to understand that. Let me give you an example. One of my students in the BTM program, she said, I was talking to her, and I was trying to I was trying to understand what type of dancer she is, and what type of dancer she want to be. Yeah. And one of the questions I ask is, give me, if you had to put yourself in a category, right? Which type of category would you put yourself? For example, I put myself in the organic style, right? So dancers who doesn't really have, pre-made combos or pre-made moves and stuff like that. So everything is very organic. It's just the music, and you let it go. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with any category. It's just you focusing on being a great dancer in your style, in your category, right? So she told me that she would put herself in the organic category. Yeah, but when I was watching her videos, she was the total opposite. Yeah. And then I said, how come you want to be more of an organic dancer, but when I watch your video is a total opposite? You work a lot on your lines and the technique, trying to develop different combos and stuff like that. Why is that? She said it's because when I train, because I'm in a dance school, and I learn a lot of techniques. Yeah, and because as a freestyle dancer, I feel not that confident. Okay, so therefore I rely on these techniques. I feel like if I kind of prepare my move, and then I feel more comfortable to be able to freestyle. But this is not really the type of style that I want. I only do it because I feel more comfortable doing this. If you identify what you want to stand for, what you want to be remembered for, then you will dedicate all your time to develop this, and to get better at this, right? But she didn't took the time to identify this until we sat down and discussed about this. Now she realized that, okay, what she really wants as a dancer, she was not working on it. She was working on something completely opposite. And we often do this. It's like, you want to dance a certain way, but because you're getting information from all over the place, from friends, from teachers, from other dancers, so you're getting information all over the place. So it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get overwhelmed, and just trying everything. And you don't take the time to focus on really, really what you love, on really what you kind of feel inside of you, you really want to express as a dancer, right? So this is why I'm saying it's extremely important to ask yourself the second question, which is, what do I want to stand for? What do I want to be remembered for? And the third question to ask yourself is, what does my body is telling me? Very important. What does my body is telling me? We often don't take the time to listen to our body. When you are dancing, when you are practicing, your body is developing a kind of system of the way you are moving. It's you've got these muscle memories that helping you to kind of do pretty much the same movement over and over again. When you are freestyling, even you are doing different movement, but there is a foundation in your way of moving that will not change. And your goal is to identify this. What I mean by listening to your body is to take the time to analyze what you are doing and how your body is responding to certain things that you are doing, right? And when you take the time to identify those things, you start also see that you have a certain pattern that you create over time. You see, so when you are dancing, even though you're doing different movement, but there is a structure that you naturally create. And this structure, you need to identify it as soon as possible so you can understand, okay, this is my identity. This is my identity. The way, for example, maybe I'm the type of dancer who love doing crazy stuff with his legs. I'm the type of dancer who love to slide with his legs. Or I'm the type of dancer who love, hitting the big impact, having a lot of impact when I'm dancing. Or I'm a type of dancer who focus on the lines. Everything has to be very structured when I'm dancing. So maybe, you see, so try to understand what your body is telling you. Because the moment you understand, what your body is telling you, you will find this identity. This will also help you clarify, and define your identity much better and much faster, right? So very important to listen to your body. One thing you can do is, whenever you're training, film yourself, and you will see that when you are watching yourself and analyzing yourself, you will see that there are certain things that you do over and over and over and over again. And this will give you an idea of, okay, this is something that I do often. This is something I do, a lot of time. There's a reason why I'm doing this so many times. Probably this is, something that I need to work on more, develop more, because it's already something that I do naturally. You see what I mean? So you start this thought process of identifying what you do naturally and pick it to develop it much better. So this is how you start defining your identity. If you've been dancing for some years now, I'm sure that if you can just write down this question and try to answer them, because you've got enough data to think about, to go to this data, and then find the answer. But if you just start dancing, you may not have enough data to find this, to answer this question immediately, right? But if you've been dancing for some years, like 2 or 3 years, you go through this process, answer these questions, and I promise you will be able to define your identity much quicker. Yeah. So once you define your identity, the second step is to be committed to mastery. What do I mean by that? The moment you know your identity as a dancer, everything that you do is to enrich this identity, is to make your identity stronger. So you will still, train, get information, from different teachers, from different dancers that you admire. You will still learn new techniques and, trying to grow as a dancer. But everything that you are gathering, the goal is to make your identity stronger. Because the worst thing you can do is to know your identity, but you don't take responsibility for it. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Once you know your identity, you really want to, position yourself and defend your identity as a dancer, right? It can be whatever you want, right? But the moment you find it, you need to make this stronger. You need to get this, everything that you're doing is to make this identity stronger. That's the second phase. to develop your own dance style. So that's it for today, guys, and I hope you find value from this video. If yes, as usual, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated with all the videos coming. And if you want more training like this where you can go even deeper and have your own personalized training plan, simply click on the YouTube card here to get more details about how you can have your own personalized training plan to push your dance to the next level. All right, so yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. Once again, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. All right, peace, take care, bye bye.